Okay, majors, we are working on a cheetah. Now, we are using a different material medium. We are using an ink dauber with black permanent ink. Please understand that means it will stain your clothes. Obviously, it's going to stain your hands. I've already washed my hands a few times, and it stained my hands just because I was filling them in, not because that's how messy you should be getting. So this ink dauber is a little bit different. First of all, you need to make sure that you don't lose this top. It screws off. So this top needs to go somewhere on your table flat. Don't leave it on its side. It will roll off. The ink dauber has a little tip. You have to squeeze this gently to get the ink to come out. These are all new. This one's the one I've used. You can see the top is black because the ink has already went through the top. So please understand it is very important that you are, you've got to be very easy because you don't want it just gushing out. So even if you move your white paper over and on your paint mat, kind of practice, you just give it a little squeeze. You'll see the black start to come and you kind of push. Oops, see, that's too much. Ooh, too much. You don't want to do that. You just got to, there you go. Practice drawing lines with it. Again, this is not what we need. I'm going to get a paper towel. So please make sure you practice on the side of your paint mat. Don't practice, because see, it gets everywhere. Right where you're going to put your paper, because then your paper will get all this ink if you accidentally do what I just did and squeeze too hard. So you just want to practice drawing lines around the edge. Now, we're not using a pencil. We are not drawing this out. You are just going to go with it. Sometimes we just got to practice. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to start on the head. And notice it has kind of a, not a heart shape, but there's a bump right there. Kind of goes this way and that way. We're not going to close it because then we're going to come in and add the nose. So when you see me draw this first shape, it's going to be open at the bottom. Then we'll draw this part, and then we'll work our way down. Okay. So, again, name. You will have to put your name on this because you cannot flip it over and start over because this ink is going to go through. You'll see it on the back. So you can't, and it'll be wet. You can't do two sides. So please don't forget to write your name. Then you're going to flip it over. I am going to go ahead and fold my paper so I know where I'm going. So I'm going to take the bottom, and it's vertical to the top, crease it. So that just lets me know where my head, like my nose should be about in the middle of the paper, my head and ears above it, and my body below it. I'm going to turn my paper so that black mark is at the top. Okay. So we're going to start at the top. Again, be careful. And we're going to do the outside of the head. Again, notice it's got a little bump in there. There's room for ears, and it's open for the nose. Again, this is the fold right here. Now, I'm going to start on the left. I'm going to curve, and then I'm going to come out for the nose. Again, there's that, what I call the booty cheeks. Bump, 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 bump. Right where my finger is, again, there's the fold. I'm going to just draw a little smiley. That's the mouth. And where the point comes up, that's where the nose, the upside down triangle is going to go. Now, I'm going to leave a little highlight in the nose, so I'm going to paint it in except for one little corner. Then we're going to move up to the ears, and they're a circular shape. And then I'm going to do where it looks like the outside of the ear is folding over. So I'm just doing that same curve on the top part of your ear. Okay, the eyes. We're going to do from this line to this line. Just a line. Coming off this line, I'm going to do a U. And then just a dot for the eye. Okay, now coming below the folds. There's no neck. So coming right where this bump, I'm going to move up the face and I'm going to draw a straight line all the way to the bottom. Both sides. And I'm going to come in some, like the front legs. And then whiskers coming out of these areas. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now that we've got the whole animal drawn, we're going to use this to make these spots on the cheetah. So all you do is gently, don't bang it, don't push it because it'll splatter out and you don't want splatter paint. Oh, one little thing. I forgot a line going down the middle right there. Now, don't do dots inside the eyeballs or inside the ears. That's not where you're going to find. On the outside, you can do it. And again, don't look like your cheetah has some kind of disease. You've put too many dots. Okay, I think he looks pretty good. Okay, so make sure you take your ink dauber, make sure you get that top screwed on. I'm going to be collecting these in our container. Your cheetah will go to the drying rack just because this ink is a little wet and I don't want anybody to, you know, smear it. Be careful. Like I did a spot right here and it's dropped a lot of ink. If I pick my paper up straight, it's going to drip. So as you work your way to the drying rack, just try to keep it flat. And then we'll be adding color. Okay, to add color to our cheetah, we are going to use oil pastels. So the colors that you will need, a brown, orange, and then a tan. Looks like a mustard yellow. Oh, actually I'd get both of these. That's apricot, maybe not. Well, we're going to use these 4. It's technically apricot, goldenrod, brown, and orange. Okay. Again, make sure you've got your cheetah. We'll do the eyes orange. That's the first thing. So inside, okay, we're done with the orange. Okay, this part of your cheetah is going to be different than the rest of your body, which is the outside of the ears and the middle. This is going to be more of the brown. And I'm noticing if you color over the black dots, you kind of disappear. So I'm just kind of working around the black dots. Okay, so once I've got that on the bottom, I'm going to take the apricot and I'm going to kind of add it on top to lighten it up some. Again, I don't really want to go over the black. I'm just going around because I don't want to cover it up. Especially this lighter one, it can see it. Okay, this is going to stay white. Okay, now I'm going to switch to the goldenrod for the inside. Okay, so what I've been doing, first of all, the middle of your cheetah is white, so that stays white. The goldenrod was a little too yellow for me, so I'm kind of mixing in some of the brown with it, but not doing it dark. So I did a yellow base, and then I just kind of added a little bit of brown on top, and then I just went back over it to kind of blend in that brown with the yellow. Oops, wrong color. Okay, so I think that's it with our cheetah. Okay, last step is you are going to pick a color of your own choice to color around the backgrounds. Obviously, we don't want to use any of the colors we just used and black. So any of the other colors would work. I'm going to go with blue. Okay, so you are going to color the area around him now. Okay, if you didn't notice, I was going to take forever, so I took the wrapper off, which is acceptable, and I turned it on its side so I could get a bigger area. You could even do 2 colors, but you have to stick with colors that are in the same color family. Example, cools, I could do a blue and a green or 2 blues together, maybe add some purple on top. If you did a red or an orange or a yellow, you could stick with those colors and add 2 of those colors together as a background. And I don't mean like half of it yellow, half of it orange. I mean like take it and I'll show you. I'm going to use this purple-ish red violet. And you would just go on top to make a new and more interesting color. So if you would like to use 2 colors on the background to just make it step out. Now, I don't know if you paid attention. The reason I chose blue, does anybody know why I chose blue? I'm going to give you a hint. The orange. I hope you said because orange and blue are complementary colors. So the cheetah's eyes made me pick the blue, but the whole cheetah, technically he's in a shade of orange, it's just a different shade. Okay, so again, stick with the same cool or warm colors. Don't mix those. If you do take these off, please throw them in the trash. Don't throw them everywhere else. Again, you have the brown and apricots, brown and goldenrod, orange, and then you pick your background color. The belly will stay white.